Musa Askan Yamak had an undefeated record of 8-0, and while his boxing career was still relatively new, he made waves last year after winning the WBF international title. On May 14th, the boxing world was stunned when the Turkish-German fighter tragically passed away while in the middle of a fight. And in today's video, we're going to talk about this very sad development, as well as some more related news. Let's get into it. First up, an undefeated boxer tragically dies after collapsing inside ring. Musa was in the middle of a bout with Ugandan veteran Musa Wandera in Munich when he suddenly collapsed at the start of the third round. Musa took a big hit from Wandera at the end of the second round, which wobbled him, but he still seemed somewhat okay. What followed was pure tragedy. The 36-year-old boxer sat down on his stool and took a breather for a minute, but as he was walking out for the third round, he collapsed. The medical staff rushed to the ring and took him to a local hospital, but sadly he was declared dead of a heart attack on arrival. There's nothing sadder than an athlete dying in the middle of their prime. Musa had so much more to offer to the sport, and the fact that he passed away so suddenly at such a young age is truly devastating. Prayers up for Musa Yamak. Next, Turkish official Hasan Turan issues statement. Turkish official Hasan Turan talked about the incident on his Twitter account and offered condolences to the late boxer's friends and family. He mentioned how sad it was that a boxer who had just won European and Asian championships died at such a young age from a heart attack. He also wished God's mercy on the deceased, who he recalled meeting at the Grand National Assembly of Turkey when he came to Ankara for a competition. Musa was originally from Alucra, Turkey, and he completed his schooling in his birth country. He started boxing when he was only 12 years old and continued to fight when he moved to Germany in his teens. Now let's talk about Musa's career. Musa had been involved in amateur boxing for quite some time, but he didn't go pro until 2017. At the time of his death, he was ranked 321 worldwide as a professional boxer, but was steadily moving up. He became the European and Asian light heavyweight champion under the World Boxing Federation and Global Boxing Union in 2019. Musa participated in 8 professional fights and won every single one of them. Also, all his victories came with him knocking out his opponents. Last year, he knocked out Saira Hulyakovic in the 8th round, and after that fight, he expressed his desire to win the gold belt for his country. He stated that he needed 12 wins for the gold belt match and that he was planning to play his 9th match soon. He added that he had mostly practiced for his match in Turkey and that his fellow countrymen supporting him is what motivated him to do better. Musa loved his fans and used to post pictures with him every chance he got. A lot of his fans have talked about meeting him, and they all said that he was always super excited to interact with them, and it made them very happy. We're sure that if he hadn't passed away so suddenly and tragically, he would have continued to make his fans proud over the next few years. Up next, fans react to this extremely tragic incident. Boxing fans all over the world were devastated after this incident and sent their condolences to Musa and his family. One fan tweeted that he really thought Musa was going to take over the world, and seeing him go out like this was extremely sad. Another said that he could not imagine what the late boxer's friends and family were going through, and that he hoped they had all the support they needed. Some alt-right accounts immediately started blaming this incident on COVID-19 vaccines, and said that there's no reason an athlete should be collapsing like this. They said that this happened because he was forced to take 3 vaccines, and they had a severely negative effect on his body. This opinion was met with a lot of outrage from people who pointed out that these heart attacks can happen to anyone at any time, and that this should not be used as an excuse to spread misinformation about the COVID-19 vaccines. There's still no news on exactly why the 36-year-old boxer got a heart attack. Hopefully in the next few days, we'll find out more details about why the ambitious boxer passed away in the fashion and what could have been done differently. And that's all about how an undefeated boxer tragically died after collapsing inside the boxing ring. Now it's time to move on to some more related news. Now, in other related news, Anthony Joshua goes off at university students. British boxer Anthony Joshua has a reputation of being calm and collected. He doesn't really lose his cool often, so when he does, you know you messed up. The 2-time world heavyweight champion was walking through Loughborough University, which is where he's training ahead of his rematch with Alexander Usyk. As he was walking, a group of intoxicated students began hurling abuse at him from inside their halls. They accused the boxer of ducking Tyson Fury and called him a coward. They probably thought they were safe inside and Anthony would just let it go. show. But while the boxer is usually very cordial with fans and opponents alike, he's not a pushover, and he soon walked to their flat and confronted them. He threatened that if the students continue running their mouths, he'll bring people up there and they'll start cracking their glass jaws. He also told the students to watch their mouths because they don't know who they're talking to, and revealed that he doesn't really care about the public eye. During the confrontation, the students weren't as loud and brazen as before and just stood silently while AJ gave them a piece of his mind. Tyson Fury actually commented on his incident, implying that this outburst happened because he had gotten inside of AJ's head. He tweeted that he has this effect on the best of them. Guys, just fight already. We know you both want to. Next, Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin, set to happen in September. Canelo Alvarez will be fighting Gennady Golovkin for the third time in September. He chose this match over a second clash with Dmitry Bivol, who he'll now face in May 2023. Canelo will be defending his 4 super middleweight titles in what's expected to be a pretty close contest. Golovkin gave Canelo quite a bit of trouble during their last fights, and he might just come out on top this time around. Many fans have said that all Golovkin needs to do is follow what Bivol did, and he'll be able to hand Canelo his second consecutive defeat. In the fight with Bivol, Canelo lost via a unanimous decision after his opponent had taken advantage of his limited stamina. The fight went on for 12 rounds, and by the end of it, Canelo had no steam left in him anymore. Luckily for Canelo, Golovkin has also faced his own stamina issues in the past. In his most recent fight in April, he looked ragged and exhausted after just 3 rounds. He only ended up on top because of his raw power. The fight is going to be very important for Canelo, especially because if he loses, this might just be the end of the 31-year-old's boxing career. And Terence Crawford wants his flowers. Terence Crawford is undoubtedly one of the best boxers in the world right now, and he has an incredible professional record of 38 wins and 0 losses, with 29 of those wins coming via knockouts. The 34-year-old boxer, hailing from Nebraska, recently took to Twitter to demand respect for his achievements. He tweeted that one day boxing fans and pundits will give him the respect he deserves and crown him the best player in the world. And you know what? He's right. His impeccable record isn't the only thing that differentiates him. Every time he steps into the ring, he shows off his tremendous technical abilities that are unmatched in the welterweight division. The only other fighter who even comes close is Errol Spence Jr., who he's going to face later this year. Now that's going to be some match. Next, Johnny Nelson says he doesn't believe Tyson Fury's retirement claim. Sky Sports pundit and former cruiserweight world champion Johnny Nelson has recently stated that he doesn't believe that Tyson Fury's going to retire. Fury, who defeated Dillian White in April, stated that he was going to fulfill his promise to his wife and retire soon. However, he is still to have a meeting with the WBC to confirm this. Johnny Nelson was asked by IFL TV for his thoughts on Fury's retirement claims, and he responded by saying that he doesn't buy it at all. He said that Tyson loves boxing and fighting's just in his blood. He's not going to be able to walk away from his passion this easily. And let's hope Johnny's right, because we're not ready to say goodbye to the Gypsy King just yet. Fingers crossed. That's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on Musa Yamak's untimely death? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.